Going to go ahead and get everyone checked in. As I call your name, if you could just confirm the name on the screen is correct and let me know who you're representing here today. It looks like that also might be on the screen for you guys. So, Chris Myers, are you from the port?
Yep, I'm here from the port.
Yeah, fantastic. And you're the applicant on this project, is that right?
The port owns the property, so I believe as a result of that, the port is the applicant.
Got it. All right, great. Welcome. And then Scott Betts, welcome.
Yes, thanks.
Gotcha. And you're with 3CDC.
I am.
Okay. What's the relation to the project there? Just the table set.
So we're sort of the development manager on behalf of the port
Okay.
for this project.
Great. Fantastic. Welcome. Next, we have Matt Lashad from the zoning department. Hey, Matt.
Hey, David.
Are we expecting anyone else to join us here on the applicant owner side? Ready to get started?
No, just me.
Great. All right. Let's go ahead and get started then. This is I'm going to read through the hearing script. We'll just cover the procedure for the hearing and jump into it. So this is the January 10th, 2024 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. Again, my name is David Sturkey. I'll be presiding over the hearing today. The case before us is case number ZH20230179. That's 435 Elm Street. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any potential opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any potential opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. For our purposes here today, I'll allow both Mr. Meyer and Mr. Betts to talk at this time. So, just tell me exactly what it is you're proposing, what the relief is that you're requesting, and why you think it's appropriate. If there were anyone here from the public, I would then give them an opportunity to speak after the applicant had presented its case. So if anyone from the public does join, I'll allow them to speak at that time. If not, I'll then turn over to Matt Lashad from the zoning department to provide any testimony in addition to a staff report. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony or respond to that testimony that was in opposition and then make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly, but to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. All right, last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today or participating really in any way other than just observing, the zoning code requires that I swear you in. So if that's you, if you could raise your right hand, I need everyone to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. All right, thanks everyone. All right, Mr. Meyer, will you be taking the lead on this?
I'll provide a few general comments, and then Scott can speak to the specifics. Generally, and I'm happy to jump in wherever necessary. The port acquired 435 Elm a number of years ago in coordination with the city of Cincinnati to demolish the property for future redevelopment opportunities. It took some number of years to get that project going, the demolition project that are outside the scope of this hearing. But now that it is moving, and in fact, the building is demolished at this point, the project coincides well with the future redevelopment plans for the convention center district. So that's the big picture of why there was a building at this site, and there is no longer a building there. What we're specifically looking at is, the zoning code that requires us to manage a site after demolition. We expect this site to be vacant for some time while the comprehensive convention center district plan is developed and implemented. This is very similar to the Millennium lot, which is catty corner from this lot. So essentially, we're seeking to do with this parcel the same thing that was completed with the Millennium parcel about a year and a half ago at this point. So that's how we got to where we are. We've provided this application and are here today. And then I was going to leave the specifics, including the landscape plan, for Scott to speak to.
Great. Thanks, Chris. Scott?
So the landscape plan is pretty straightforward and I think pretty directly addresses the requirements in the zoning code. I think, to put it simply, it'll be exactly what you see across the street at the former Millennium site in terms of grass, and the fence will be the same aluminum 6-foot picket fence.
Gotcha. Okay. It looks like the standards here are that the landscaping shall be appropriate to an urban park or garden. Lot shall be fenced as appropriate for public safety and aesthetics, and all plant material shown on the plan should be watered, fertilized, pruned, kept free from weeds. Can you speak to any of that at all?
Yeah,
Scott?
so we'll have the same maintenance regimen as we have across the street,
Okay.
or that the port has across the street.
Gotcha. And I remember doing the approval on that actually. Can you remind me, is it just grass over there?
It's
Are there any
grass.
other shrubs or plants?
And Chris can speak to this probably in more detail, but my understanding is that there's some infrastructure under a portion of that site that prevented that portion from becoming grass. And so for that reason, there's a portion that is hardscaped. And because that's hardscaped, I think they added some planters to that, only to that hardscape portion, is my recollection. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah. The Coolco water chill vines are underneath part of the Millennium site. So the south end of the Millennium site has about 40 to 50 feet of concrete, maybe 30 to 40 feet of concrete. And on top of that, we used planters in lieu of grass or planted bedding.